Hello guys, and welcome to another David Zamaleta. My name is Serge, and in today's video we're going to be doing the leak off test. So in the last video I did like a little introduction to why the leak off test needs to be performed, and I've explained some of my theories, logical solutions to this problem, and why that must be done for us to determine this problem. If you haven't watched that video, take a look at it, especially if you having some issues with your printer, doesn't start. I do kind of get into a lot of different things. So in this video we are doing a leak off test. I decided not to do it in the last video just because it would make it very long video, which is probably not a problem if you're trying to solve your issue, but I think we should just begin with this. So let's take a look under the hood first. I'm gonna just point out some things. Anyways, here we have the fuel injectors right here. As you can see, they're a little rusted. There's a possibility that they're old, right? This is the fuel return line right here, and you don't see it, but the fuel return line, it goes into the fuel rail, so obviously it's leaking off into the fuel rail. Now, man, they designed this one in such a way that they really don't make the job easy, do they? So anyways, this is right here that you're seeing. Let's see if I could zoom in over here. Over here we have a sensor that plugs in front, and this is a straight sensor. So there's also like a curved one. It's probably going to be on that side. I do have one of these sensors. Let me show you. This is the box for it. This is what it's called: Mercedes printer pressure regulator valve fuel injector common rail BG07059. This is what it looks like. Now, you could see this is a brand new sensor, and this is the one that's kind of like facing out, you see? So this is not the one that's in the front. So let's take a look at this. This is actually quite nicely in there. Can't really pull that out. You see this seal here, guys? And I haven't even opened this. Like, this is like nicely in there, and it's lubricated. This is what the stuff is on it. There's seals. There's a green seal on that one. There's a seal over there. I could probably match these seals and install it if one has failed onto the front one, because possibly like this thing is working, it's just the seals that has failed. I actually have like a seal kit. I'm in my mobile mechanics van, and I just went inside of my kit and I just pulled out like all kinds of stuff. So I have anything from green seals to these other grommets to basically all of these other things, and a little kit right there. So yeah, possibly I could match something. So we could see that we have like a green seal up top. I got some green ones right there. We got some black ones. We could probably find something in one of these kits, maybe even in that one. But this is a brand new one, and I could see why the mechanic did not replace this. So that seal was inside of that box, and I actually removed it from the box. Mechanic showed me that seal, and he's like, blah, 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 it's probably that. And the owner of this printer already just kind of gave up on it because they could not find an issue why it would not start. So this was sitting at a mechanic's shop, just in a parking lot, maybe for a couple years, because the registration, last time it was registered, was 2018. So it was sitting for quite a while at that point, and now I got it. So I mean, it was sitting in my yard for probably a couple years because I just really did not need it for anything. I just bought it just because. But anyway, since I'm actually looking at this here, this is actually a PCV valve here, and it's got a diaphragm on the inside, and if that breaks, you'll have some issues with the turbo and stuff. So it's gonna have like a limp mode. So that's something to notice. But it's a good thing. It's easy to get to. It's like right there. And over here we have the camshaft sensor. Now, some of you guys said, well, probably camshaft or crankshaft sensors. And you know what? I mean, a crankshaft sensor, yes, if it has failed, it's not going to work. But one of the signs that the crankshaft sensor has failed, it will be starting up on cold, but not on hot. And I'm not saying it hasn't failed, because maybe it has failed on this one. and we hadn't had an opportunity to test it on hot. But at this point, well, actually, maybe we have. I let this vehicle work for a while. It got to the temperature. I shut it down. Also would not start up, but a little bit of ether started right up. So maybe that rolls out the crankshaft. But I'm thinking camshaft? Like, that looks like an old sensor. The weird thing is, and the interesting thing is, and it's going to sound probably like funny me even saying it, prior to me even getting this vehicle started, it was still parked in a Sprinter graveyard, and I was planning to work on it next day and kind of thinking about like some of the things I had to do, because at that time I needed to still replace the fuel filter there, and I needed to replace this fuel line, and of course that other fuel line is bad too. So I mean, I got it with zip ties right now, but it needs to be replaced. I had this dream, and in the dream I keep getting repeated camshaft sensor, like I needed to replace it, and that would, you know, cause it to start. So like, that was kind of interesting that I actually had that dream. So like, maybe we're looking at the problem there, that I got an answer in the dream. I don't know. I kind of doubt it though, because I do think that it could either be injectors or it could be the fuel rail, definitely. I mean, if it's none of those, then it could even be, you know, AGR, obviously. I was told that this is a brand new AGR. You know, looking at it though, I mean, it's got a lot of grime on it. Like, I mean, kind of like you could see the barcode and everything, but I'm thinking like, boy, like it's so dirty, like it's kind of hard to tell if it's new or something. I've heard new before. Like, I heard people tell me, yeah, this is new, but it wasn't new. So yeah, like that is a possibility. I mean, there's a very good chance I'll have to pull this thing off and see if it's stuck on open. Yeah, that can happen, unfortunately. But I don't have any EGR codes. I'm just thinking about a mechanical failure, or it could have some carbon buildup on the inside, because that does not look like a new EGR. Also, I believe I remember that some of the fuel injectors have been replaced on this one. But looking at them, and I'm thinking, what injectors? I mean, maybe this one and that one. Like looking at the bolts and stuff, it looks to me like it's a possibility. And I mean, also, like, I could see that this somebody has messed with these injectors. Like, somebody did remove them. Like, I could see how like those are damaged a little bit, but so is that bolt, so is that bolt. The last one, kind of hard to tell, but the fact that they're rusted like they are, this doesn't make me feel that they're new. And also, there's just a lot of grime over here. If somebody replaced them, they would at least be clean in these areas, but they're not. So I doubt anybody messed with these injectors anytime recently. They probably got replaced at some point, possibly, but that doesn't mean that they're good. These fuel lines, I mean, I've seen some of these like rusted, especially by now. So maybe at some point somebody replaced something, maybe even these fuel lines, but somebody definitely been in here. And I guess another thing I want to point out is that fuel rail sensor, it sits right here. See, this is the one that's bent right there. It is kind of hard to get to, and this is probably why that mechanic did not replace it. I don't think it's impossible, but it's a possibility. So anyways, guys, I decided to give a call to this Sprinter owner here, and I just talked to him on the phone and asked him some questions. We've been friends for 16 years. I used to work for him back in the day. He had like a cabinet type of business, and I just talked to him and I told him some of the things that I'm doing into it and stuff, and he said that he would be very interested in seeing it when I'm done, for me to make it to his cabinetry type of a shop in Mooresville. It's quite of a drive from here, but they would really like to see it once it's done. But he says basically they haven't been using this van since 2020. But the registration I've seen is like 2018, so maybe it's like not the latest registration. But anyways, He does not remember anything that was done to this vehicle. He says sometimes it would like work, sometimes like not. But his brother, he would probably know like a little bit more about it because he was the one that was driving this vehicle. So maybe I'll speak to him at some point. But they have like a family business. So this van here, he said he only remembers like glow plugs was replaced, but that was probably a while ago because the number 5 is bad. So maybe it was never replaced. Maybe it's broken. I don't know. But anyways, I kind of thought it would be interesting to speak to him after all this time. It was an interesting conversation and had a few laughs. But looks like at this point, I mean, I could see clearly. Okay, the high pressure fuel pump is new. I could see that. Okay. AGR on the other hand, I don't know. But I was told by his brother at the time when I was getting this van that was replaced. But you know how things are like that. Like when you own the vehicle and you're thinking, well, you replaced that, and I do believe they said they replaced injectors at some point. So that could have meant they replaced it at some point. I don't know, 100,000 miles ago or more than that, you know. But anyways, let's begin and go ahead and do this leak down test. So this is the leak off test kit, okay? We have a couple different ways of doing it. We have a lot of different adapters as well. We have these things that plug right in, and there's 6 of them. I think, oh shit. Wow, look at that. I mean, I had this kit for a while, and I never actually even looked at it. So it appears to me like they sent me a broken one. Well, that's not nice. Man, I actually thought that this would be kind of nice to use. I mean, how bad is this? I don't know if I could just tape it at the very least. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is not a big loss. There's just not a lot of room to really use these. So I guess what I would have to do is use this kit here. So it's cool. I mean, there's a lot of different things I could use. Yeah, there it is. All right, guys, so let's begin. We're going to be doing a leak off test, but first we're going to need to remove these pins. That's right here. Just lay them right there. I do not want to break any of them, so I'm going to try. I don't think this is a very good method. They're plastic, and these things would just break off, so maybe find your own way to remove them, guys, because there's not a lot of room back here, not a lot of options, and the options that you do have, high likelihood that you can break them. But if you try very carefully, maybe you'll be successful. So anyways, now that they're off, let's proceed. I'm gonna try this one more time just to see if this is even possible to stick this thing in here. There's not a lot of room, so that went in there tight. Oh yeah, before we forget, we gotta crimp off that fuel return line. Use something like this, and I'm just going to try to route it best I can in the back. I was thinking about just crimping them together, but I'm afraid of breaking it, you know? So maybe I'll just route it back where it was, and Crimp it off. Right there. I mean, that's gotta really do the job. Like, okay, so let's continue. Let's see. I'm liking these cylinders a little bit better, but obviously you've seen I have some broken ones, but I might be okay. I'm thinking about just putting some clear tape on it. I mean, this is not a lot of pressure back here. I mean, we simply just want to get a reading. Interesting. Why is this one like, I mean, that one sits a lot lower, but I can't get this one to sit in there. What about this injector? Yeah, that sits fine. We may have one injector that's been replaced, which is that one, and that's probably not an original one. Let's see if this broken one would work. I mean, this is the broken one, so I guess that injector is going to get a broken one because that fit, bad everything. Okay, let's see if I could get it to go in. I mean, it's not a good fit, you know, but what am I gonna do, you know? Okay, so next we gotta start it up. I'm going to start up without starting fluid, so that's what we're gonna be doing. Adding some starting fluid to it. Hopefully that's enough. So here I was, getting ready to do a leak off test. And then start error occurred, causing me to make all those other videos about the start error and basically show you what's really going on. As you guys will know, the vehicle stopped starting with its original key and instead only starts now with the wrong key, which I actually tried to figure out the issue in the other two previous videos. So basically I put the wrong key in and I started with a screwdriver, and that's the only way it starts. And with the correct key that actually rotates my ignition tumbler, it no longer starts. Until now, because I've taken a circuit board from the wrong key, stuck it into my other key, and now of course the ignition switch will rotate, which caused me more questions than answers. But anyways, now that the van starts, I actually had my test already hooked up. Let's take a look at everything that's going to happen after I start up the vehicle, because I was getting ready to do a leak down test. Well, leak off test. I keep saying it wrong. Yeah, I could remove that from the video, but then it's not going to be fun because I constantly make mistakes by speaking. So anyways, guys, take a look at the video of everything that happened when the vehicle actually did start. Started. Try to start it. Like, look at that. How is this even starting it, okay? Starting it did not come up. This key will not actually rotate nothing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just put the battery jump box on it, just in case. Okay, let's start this thing. I'll talk after. after I'm done. Okay, I gotta idle this higher than usual RPMs. 1,500 RPMs right now. So right now I started with the wrong key, guys. Oh yeah, by the way, there's my test here. So one of the injectors, nothing's happened, only a little bit came up. But now this is diesel that's coming up on the injectors. I hope you guys could actually see this, and it's leaking because I have this leak down test connected to it. So the third one's leaking a lot. The second one here does not really leak much. There's some diesel on the inside. I mean, it could just be leaking over there a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just leaking. They're all leaking. So I had to shut it down. I don't know why I cut the clip, but I had to shut it down. So this one here is taped up and it's barely holding. And I think because it's barely holding, it was basically leaking. So this is why this one has like nothing in there. But the puddle is just as big in that side as in that one. So there's diesel everywhere, guys. All of these injectors are leaking pretty bad. I mean, we only had it idling for 2 minutes, and this is how much leakage we got in there. So basically, guys, this first leak off test is a fail. I'm gonna have to think of something else, and in a later video when I'm actually going to do a leak off test, it's gonna be less talking, more working. We're actually gonna start doing a leak off test right away with a little bit of a different setup, because I was not expecting in 2 minutes to fill up every single chamber. And then of course I wasn't even sure what's really going on with the second one here. Why is it not even full? Is it somehow leaking? We'll find out about all of this in the next video when I do the proper leak off test. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and this video series of unexpected issues with the Sprinter. It seems like it never stops. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. I appreciate you all. Stay safe out there. Ask questions in the comment section if you guys have any questions about your Sprinter. Maybe I or somebody else in the comments can help you out. But anyways, I will continue hunting for the issue. Why does the Sprinter only start with starting fluid or ether? And why can't it just start by itself normally? But anyways, guys, thank you. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.